around the globe. We are live, and we're also live on YouTube. So today I'm going to discuss a subject that is very topical at the moment, and it's something that's very close and dear to my heart. And it is shared septic tank legal issues. Okay. So what do I mean by shared septic tank legal issues? Well, if you've ever had a septic tank that is on, okay, so let me break it down. All right, so for myself, when I first got married, I moved into a Victorian terrace cottage, and it was one of 4 cottages, and the septic tank was in the neighbour's garden at the end of the terrace cottages, and all 3 of us went into her septic tank. Now, for whatever reason, all right, for whatever reason, she didn't get on with any of us. And which is okay. I mean, maybe she didn't like us. It's, you know, it's her prerogative. That's fine. But the point is, right, for some strange reason, she started getting a septic tank emptied every week. And the collective total, it was costing just under £300 a week between the 3 of us, right? She'd pay, it was 400 quid in total. It was almost 100 quid for each of us. That was our part share cost of what it costed to get the tank emptied every week. It was something like 96 quid each. So I had to pay 96 quid. Jim, the next door neighbor, had to pay 96 quid. Andy had to pay 96 quid, and she paid 96 quid. And it was nuts. It was a massive septic tank. And no, and we were like, why are we suddenly paying for being 96 quid a week out each? Look, there's a problem with the tank. Please, can we try and sort it out and fix it? But she wouldn't have it. And this went on for months and months, 6 months, 9 months, and it just made me ill. It made my wife ill. Made the next door neighbours ill. We were just paying for 90 quid plus a month out to get this a week, not a month, 90 quid a week. Sorry, if I said a month, I'm wrong. It was costing us 96 quid a week to get this tank emptied, each of us, right? It's 400 quid a week, that's it, because it was a massive tank. And it was just making me ill. It was making my wife ill. It was making Jim ill. It was making Andy ill. And that's a scenario. That's one typical scenario. That's one problem you can have if you're connected to someone else's septic tank or soakaway system. And, you know, it could have been me. The septic tank could have been in my garden, and the neighbours could have been, you know, when I might not have got. It can happen to anyone. You know, the septic tank could be in your garden, and the neighbours could be making demands on you, like we were making demands on her, and it just gets messy, and it just becomes problematic, and it just makes everyone ill. So that's one scenario. There's tons of other variables, right, in this. For example, I had a lady contact me not so long ago. She's got the septic tank in her garden, and the neighbours who are connected to it are making demands to her, and those demands, I think, maybe are unreasonable, and they're stressing her out and worrying her out. So look, there's tons of different scenarios when you're on a shared septic tank. So I just wanted in this broadcast to put some good news to you, and that is, look, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm going to show you a simple solution of how you can just cut through the red tape and get a simple solution to the shared septic tank legal issues. Okay, so let me just get straight into this. I mean, this is one example. There's loads of different solutions, but the solution I'm about to show you, this particular one, basically will just this is the most common shared septic tank problem that I'm about to show you, and this is a most common solution to deal with that problem. All right, so let's get on with this. So there we go. There's say 2 houses, right? So there's 2 houses, and let's say the septic tank is in this neighbour's garden. Oh, I've been looking forward to this coffee all day. Really nice. Okay, and so let me just show you a little bit more about the septic tank and soak away. So here you can see it's a concrete septic tank. It could be any septic tank. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay. So so let me just zoom out a bit. All right. Let me take some things away here. So, all right. So this is what it looks like. So let me just, there we go. Okay. So this is, if we were just to peel back the layers of grass, this is what it would look like. Okay. So you've got the house there, and then the pipe comes from the house down here, right, into, say, an inspection chamber, like so. Then it goes into the septic tank, and then it goes into the soak away. So that's basically a typical septic tank and soak away setup. All right. And so don't ask me why they particularly put that septic tank in that particular garden. Sometimes it's luck of the dice, or however the builder's feeling that day, or whatever. I don't know the rule, you know, all the whys and wherefores. But nevertheless, let's pretend that's a typical scenario. Okay, as I said, it could be any septic tank, could be any soak away, could be any sewage system. All right. So this is house number 2. All right. So let me show you typically how that will be connected to the neighbor's septic tank. Typically, this is how it works. Your pipework, all right, will come down from the house, and it will, again, it can vary, but I'm just giving you a really simple example. It could go into an inspection chamber like so, and then from there, it will go under the fence. Okay. So let me just come up and give you an overview of that. All right, then it'll come down the fence, and then that pipe will literally go straight into the septic tank, or it will go into, as I said, an inspection chamber. So that's typically the setup of how it looks. And so this is what happens. So let's say this house here, the septic tank is on their land. Well, they've got the keys to the garage, as it were, so they can dictate to house number 2 here how often they have the septic tank emptied. Let's say they want to repair or replace the septic tank. Again, they can make the demand to you that they want to upgrade the system. It's going to be 15, 20,000 quid to do, and they want half the money off you because you share the septic tank with them. Now, there may not be anything wrong with the septic tank, right? I don't know, but these are the legal issues that you come up against, because let's say, right, you don't know much about septic tanks, and house number 1 saying to you, well, we need a new septic tank. You just got to take my word for it. Give us 10 grand. And you're like, well, I want a second opinion. And they're like, well, we've already, and it just goes, and this is, and this is just another example of the headaches and the problems that come from being on shared systems. So the solution, if you, let me just tell you this, right? If you are sharing someone's system, the easiest thing, number 1, that you can do is to cut yourself off from the shared system. So if the septic tank and soak away that you're connected to is in your neighbor's garden, the simplest thing to do is cut yourself off from it. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. I'm going to show you how easy it is, and I'm going to show you how much money that you'll save doing it. It's not as expensive or as hard as you would imagine. All right, so here we go. So let me go dive back into this. Okay, so, oh, where have we gone here? All right, so this is, it's really simple to do. I mean that you can get your builder or anyone to do what I'm about to show you. All right, so I've showed you this scenario. So the first thing that you need to do, I'm going to show you where to get the products in a bit, okay, and I'm going to show you what products to use, but I just wanted to show you how simple it is, the principle. That's all I want to show you right now. All right. So the first thing that you need to do, you need to ascertain where you're going to put your septic tank. So logically in this scenario, right, if that's your neighbor's tank there, then you can mirror it. You can put your own septic tank in about this area, all right, round about here. All right, so you can determine where or when you're going, whereabouts you're going to put it. So let's say, for argument's sake, I was going to put the septic tank about here. For argument's sake, the first thing you need to do, and this is really simple, you need to dig a trench. Bam, like so. It really is that simple. So you dig a trench, right? You can dig a trench straight from here. You don't have to cut off anything there or cut into anything. Don't worry about that. Literally, just dig a trench. All right. Then this trench will go to the hole where you're going to put your septic tank. So the next thing that you do is you dig a hole. There you go. How easy is that? That's your hole for your septic tank. Okay. Pretty straightforward. And up to now, this will have taken you or your builder an hour and a half to do. All right. Then the next thing that you do before you put anything in, you dig another hole for an inspection chamber, and then you dig another hole for your soak away. So there you go. That is the sum total of what you do. So just putting it really simply and keeping it really basic, right? You dig a trench, you dig a hole for your septic tank, you dig a hole for an inspection chamber, and you dig a hole for your soak away. I'm going to show you a little bit more now of how it all fits together. Excuse me. All right. So let's start with the trench number one. Okay. Let's start with the trench. First of all, again, you don't have to cut into anything, or, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to work this out. The first thing that you do is just put a pipe in the trench. Doesn't need to be connected to anything. Just lay it in the pipe. Just lay the pipe in the trench. Okay, that goes towards the tank. Okay, so just lay it like that. All right. Then the next thing that you do is you put the tank, bang, in the hole, just like that. There you go. Look at that. So that's pretty straightforward, isn't it, so far? The tank is in the hole. So there's the pipe, and you put the tank in the hole. And the next thing that you do, you'll notice here, which I've highlighted just here, you'll notice that there's an outlet pipe on the tank. And all that you do is put an outlet pipe into the outlet pipe hole on the tank. And then all that you do then is put inspection chamber in. And these just slot together. Just slots together. Look at that. So that's really simple so far. And then this is even easier, and you're going to love this. Right? This is how easy it is to put your soak away in. All right. So this is something called septic tank soak away crates. You put one in, put two in, put three in. The number of crates will differ depending on the number of bedrooms that you've got or you haven't got. So in this instance, there's just 6. So it could be 8, could be 12, could be 16. So don't worry about that, because I'm going to show you how to work that out in a minute. But anyway, in this instance, we're putting 6 crates in the hole. There you go. That's pretty straightforward, isn't it? I mean, and by the way, these aren't rainwater crates. You can't use rainwater crates for a septic tank soak away. You have to use septic tank soak away crates. Okay, so just thought I'd tell you that, because on some sites, quite rightly so, they'll say, no, you can't use rainwater crates. You're not allowed to. And that's right. You have to use septic tank soak away crates. So there is a difference, but people get confused about it. Okay, then once you place those in the hole, you just put a pipe from here into the crates. So let me do that for you now. Okay, that's really straightforward, isn't it? So what you do, you cut a hole in the crates there and just put a standard 4-inch pipe into the crates. Then when you've done that, you just cover the crates over with membrane, like so. So you put the membrane around the side, and you put membrane around around the sides, and you put membrane over the top, just like so. And the reason for that is, once you cover it over with soil, it stops the soil sinking into the crates, and it stops any soil from around the sides of the crates getting into it. So it seals them. It allows the water out, but it doesn't allow the soil in. So how does this work now? All right. Well, Next thing you've got to do is make a hole in the inspection chamber and just put the pipe in, or you just connect your pipe from here, wherever you want to connect it in, you just connect it straight to there. And then the beautiful thing is, right, then this pipe work here, you can just disconnect that pipe work and decommission it. So let me do that. Let me just fill that. There we go. Bam. So let's say you've dug that pipe out and you filled it all in. There you go. And then, so all your wastewater now will leave your property. It will come down here. It will go into the septic tank there. From there, this little beauty here, basically, if any baby wipes or nappies or sanitary towels go into the septic tank accidentally or on purpose, some people just put them down, it will get trapped in there. And that's a good thing, because you can lift the lid and take them out and it'll save you hundreds of pounds. Basically, it means that your soakaway won't ever become blocked up, and it will save you. It'll save you hundreds, if not thousands of pounds when you get a blockage. It'll stop you getting blockages, because what happens is Dynarod will come out and they'll charge you 600-700 quid to unblock it. And if they take a week to come and do it because they're busy, then and your septic tank soakaway isn't working, you've got to pay like 200-300 quid a time to get your tank emptied. And if you have to do that 2 or 3 times before Dynarod does it, you know, it can end up costing you like 1,500, 2 grand, just because you didn't get the German inspection chamber. So there you go. That is how easy it is to cut yourself off from your neighbor's system. So now if I come out, look, there we go. Look at that. So each house now has got its own septic tank and soakaway system. So your neighbors now, they can put a gold-plated septic tank in, right? They can put a diamond-encrusted soakaway in that costs £500,000. You don't care anymore. Why? Because you've got your own septic tank and soakaway system in. Look at that. You're completely cut off from them. And some questions that people ask. Do you need permission to put a septic tank and soakaway in? Well, the law states this. If you were connected to a septic tank, whether it's on your own land or whether it's on their property, before the 1st of Jan 2020, then you do not need planning permission or permits to do so. I'll say that again. If you're on a shared system and your property was connected to that shared system before the 1st of January 2015, then you do not need approval from building regs or the Environmental Agency, or you don't need any permissions and you don't need any permits. That's the law. Okay, so that makes it really easy for people who are connected to shared systems to put their own septic tank and soakaway system in. So I don't know why it jumps like that, but there you go. So now another couple of things, important things to tell you as well. Okay, so if you're wondering about the septic tank and soakaway kit you saw here, how much is it going to cost you? Okay, and that's a fair point. How much is it going to cost you to put a septic tank and soakaway system in? Well, you can get a septic tank consultancy or a septic tank sewage treatment plant firm to do it, and they'll charge you anywhere from £6,000 to £10,000 to £15,000 to do it. Or, right, you can just go, and here's an example. Let me just get this up here. For example, we do, if you just go to septictank.co.uk, we do something called a septic tank and soakaway kit. All right, so let's give you an example of what this will cost. So you can get it for 1 to 2 bedrooms, 3 to 4 bedrooms, 5 to 6 bedrooms, and 7 to 8 bedrooms. So let's say you've got a 1 to 2 bedroom property. It's going to cost you 1,499. And it comes, so you get everything with that. You get the septic tank and soakaway. So let me show you what you get. You get the pipe, you get the German inspection chamber, you get the tank, you get a free riser with the tank worth £100. You get the septic tank soakaway crates, and you get free membrane worth 100 quid. And yeah, and so that's what I found. They're very, very, very popular. There's another video there which shows you how to install it. got all the dimensions there, but it'll literally take you or your builder 3 hours, 2.5 hours to get the whole lot in from start to finish. So that's where that is, I suppose, the best advice I could give you, really. So in a nutshell, if you are attached to your neighbor's septic tank and soakaway, I would heartily recommend, most definitely recommend, you cut yourself off from it and put your own septic tank in. Now, what if you're the neighbor with the septic tank and soakaway in your garden and someone else is connected to you and they are making demands to you? Well, the most simplest solution, right, for you is to get them to put their own septic tank and soakaway in. You see, now they can't demand, right? Let me give you some things that they can't demand. All right, because you've got the septic tank on your land and they're going into you, you've given them like a way leave, a right of way, right? So from their pipes into your system, they can never demand that you put, 50,000 quid system in, or you do this or you do that. Only the environmental agency or the government can demand that, right? You can demand you want half the money off them for a new system, but they can't demand that they want this off you or they want that off you. You're in full control because the septic tank, as long as it's legal and it's working, all right, they may be moaning at you and they may be saying this and they may be saying that and they may be stressing the hell out of you, maybe worrying you. But if your septic tank is working, in good working order, and, there's no signs of problems or whatever, then no one can make any demands on you. But if you're not getting on with your neighbors and the septic tank is a contentious issue and it's causing problems, right, then I seriously recommend that you show them this video, for example, because it will show them that they can simply and easily put their own septic tank and soakaway in for 1,400 quid, just over 1,400 quid. So there you go. So I hope that's helped you today. It's horrible. It really is horrible when legal issues do come between you and your neighbors. It really is. It really is stressing, and it really is horrible. So there you go. I hope that's helped you today. Another thing I just wanted to point out before I go today is that many people are asking me about the septic tank ban. All right, many people asking me about the septic tank ban. What exactly is the septic tank ban? Well, the septic tank ban deals with two primary areas. Number one, if the septic tank ban, the actual proper name for it is the General Binding Rules. And if you want to see more information on that, then you can just go to the .gov website. Let me just show you here. Although I'm going to tell you, I'll give it to you in a nutshell what it's all about. But I'm just saying, if you want to find out more about it, you can just, General Binding Rules. There we go. And you can see all about it here. There's tons of information on it. But in a nutshell, what it's about is this. Many septic tanks and soakaways discharge into watercourses. So if your septic tank and soakaway discharge into a watercourse, or you're near a watercourse such as a brook, a river, a stream, ditch, culvert, etc., then your system will become illegal by the 1st of Jan 2020. All right. So in another broadcast, I'll show you how to fix that really simply and easily. But that's the first thing. That's the most important one, that the septic tank ban. They call it the septic tank ban because the Environmental Agency and UK government are going to ban septic tanks from going into watercourses after the 1st of Jan 2020. But if you've got a septic tank and you're not by a watercourse, then you need to do what I'm about to show you. All right, this is very, very important. And you need to get yourself a government compliance form. All right. So basically, after the 1st of Jan 2020, every house must have a government compliance form. So let me just show you what they look like. There you go. That's a government compliance form there. Okay, and basically you put this, display it in your kitchen or your utility room, and you hand one to your solicitor. All right, and don't let that stress you out. They're free. All right, I'm actually giving them away free. So let me just show you. So if you've got a septic tank and you're watching this broadcast, right, and I seriously recommend you get one of these. They're free. They don't cost a penny. Go to septictank.co.uk. At the top there, you'll see here it says septic tank ban, or you'll see a banner there, beat the septic tank ban. Just click on that, right, and you'll see a lovely video of me grimacing like that, right? But you can watch the video there, and it'll explain in a little bit more detail what I'm explaining to you now. On the third. All right, but here I've actually written a lot of the information here, but this is the important bit. At the bottom, you'll see there you can put your name and your email address in there. When you do that, right, you will then via email, I will send you a free government compliance form, just like this. So you download it. So download as many copies as you want, hand one to your solicitor and put one in your utility room, and they're really easy. When you've downloaded it, I mean, I'll give you a quick example of some of the things it says. Right, so Her Majesty's Government, maintenance notice in accord with UK building regs. I acknowledge the sewage system I have installed at my property is so is it a septic tank, is it a cesspool, etc., etc. Where is the sewage system located? So you'd say if it was in the front garden, the back garden, if it was in your neighbour's garden. The sewage system has a capacity of X amount of litres, and so on and so forth. The sewage system is constructed out of, I don't know, fiberglass, bricks, mortar, concrete, whatever, etc., etc. So basically, you fill in the blanks at the end of the form there, and then you just sign it and you date it, and this form will save you thousands and thousands of pounds. And as I said, all you need to do is go to septictank.co.uk. I'll just show you how to do that. I know you're not silly, but look, just type in septictank.co.uk at the top of your bar there. All right, and it should just come up. And as I said, on the left-hand side, you've got beat the septic tank ban, and you've got the septic tank ban there. So that's a free tip that will save you thousands of pounds. Because what happens if you come to sell your property and you haven't got one of these, what happens is the solicitor representing the people buying your property will say to you, what sewage system have you got in place? And you'll say, I've got a septic tank in there. And I go, okay, what capacity is the septic tank? And you'll start rummaging around for your septic tank, emptying receipts, stuff like that. And he'll say, well, we need something a bit more substantial than this. And then maybe, you know, and it just goes on and on and on. Maybe you show him, I don't know, you get the septic tank emptying man to come around and shine a torch in there, but it's still not evidence. It's not enough evidence or substantial enough to prove to the people buying your house what system you've got, etc., etc., or the condition of it. And so, to cut a long story short, they'll say, look, you know, maybe they don't know what a septic tank is. Maybe they've never had one, or if they have had one, they're worried about the condition that it's going to be in. They'll get some people around, they'll get some quotes for putting a new septic tank and soak away in, and they'll give you quotes for 6, 12, 15, 20,000 quid. And they'll get you to reduce the price of your house correspondingly. And this does many people's heads in. They're like, stuff it, I ain't selling my house to you if you're going to do that. But the trouble is they'll come across this problem again when the next vendor comes along, because the solicitors are, you know, keyed up to this, you know. But if you've got a government compliance form, all these problems go away. You just hand them the form. The solicitor looks at the form and he's like, okay, you've got this system, it's that, okay, blah, 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 blah. And the problem goes away, and it'll save you thousands and thousands of pounds, right? Thousands of pounds. So there you go. So those are my tips for the day. So if you've got a shared system and it's stressing you out, then, you know, have a watch of this broadcast again. and seriously think about cutting yourself off from your neighbour's system. Cut yourself off and put your own septic tank and soak away in. As I said, if you go to septictank.co.uk, you'll see the septic tank and soak away kits there. As I said, they're worked out for you. Everything comes with them. All you've got to do is dig the hole, and they come to different various sizes, you know, based on the bedrooms. And if you've got a septic tank, and you know, it's not going into a water course, then get yourself a free government compliance form. They're free, all right? And there you go. So thank you very much for watching today's live broadcast. Hope you have a great evening, and I'll speak to you